People on the left who are against voting for Kamala Harris, you guys are being really emotional right now.
Oh, geez, Dante, my friend, you sure kicked the hornet's nest with this one. Let me first say, I do agree that leftists are overly emotional about this election, which makes sense because they're connecting the industrial scale slaughter of children, which we're all watching on our cell phones, with this election and the two candidates who support that. But it's like our only options are two candidates who support that, so does it make sense to fight each other over it? But where I disagree with Dante's video is he does care about this election because he's about to tell you to vote for Kamala Harris.
You people do not understand civics. I personally met socialists who are going to bed hungry in Cuba because of Donald Trump's sanctions, because of the difference between Obama and Donald Trump.
Okay, now this is the narrative I really take issue with, and this is why I had to make a video. No hate to Dante, he's a fantastic creator on this app. But Kamala Harris and Joe Biden ramped up the sanctions on Cuba that Donald Trump reinstated. And recently they eased those sanctions, but only for private companies with, quote, no connection to the Cuban Communist government. So they're using the sanctions to encourage Cuba to liberalize or to privatize, allow more multinationals and less state-owned industry. And don't give Obama credit for easing the sanctions, okay? Change is not handed down to us from above. It is fought for from below. It was the Latin American people organizing and demanding that the sanctions be alleviated that got the Pope to pressure Obama to do it. And yes, Trump put the sanctions back on, and I've said repeatedly that that was the worst thing Trump ever did. But then why didn't Joe Biden and Kamala Harris take the sanctions off again if they're so much better? If they're so much less fascist than Donald Trump is? And that's the thing, if you just cave to these Democrats, if you say, yeah, okay, they're better, we don't have to fight and demand anything out of them, then they're not going to give you anything. The only time they ever change stuff, like when Obama legalized gay marriage, is when people at the bottom of society fight for it. Obama had campaigned against gay marriage for years before that. So please, don't give the Democratic Party too much credit for helping Cuba. And vote for whoever you want, I really don't care, but please don't guilt me for not voting Democrat.
You guys need to stop being in this notion that Kamala is going to make a change if she becomes president. You're fucking not. And I don't know how some of you people are so naive and fool in believing that she's really going to make a change for you. Well, meanwhile, I literally pull up this video to show you she is essentially no different from the other party, aka the Republican Party, and she essentially holds the same policy as them, in the sense that she also believes that Cuba, for example, should not be able to trade, should not be able to bargain with other countries, other nations, unless they are open to their economy on putting private property and private businesses, where they'll essentially just end up exploiting the Cuban people, making them face massive poverty, and essentially making their livelihoods worse. So I don't understand how you people still support Kamala. And not to even mention, there's a video out there where she established, if I become president, what I'm gonna do first is make more housing. Bitch, we already got plenty of housing here. There's already plenty of homes that people can live in. So you rather, and it further proves that you don't really care about the American people, because if you did, you would save so much more time, so much resources, because I already implied there's already plenty of housing. The difficulty is that housing that exists, it is difficult for people to obtain without getting into massive debt. And so, rather than you focusing on that, essentially taking away the ownership from the bourgeoisie, the capitalists, no, you rather put your focus on, well, I'll just make more homes, rather than attacking the core issue.